welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. This is episode 16, and I am here with my husband, Bradley.
Scott.
Ever since the hypnotherapy session. And
Is that reversible?
we are entitling this one, wait, what?
Is that reversible?
Yeah, I have like she gave me a word. So
Okay.
if I say something to you, you go back to looking like you.
Okay, because although I like
That's not
looking
true.
like Bradley Cooper,
Yeah.
I don't like the name Bradley.
You don't like Bradley, the
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Okay. So we're entitling this one, Throwing Shade in Aura Color.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, it's basically I'm just talking about the shades of the aura.
Oh, okay.
But like I decided to be all creative with the title, Throwing Shade in Aura Color. All right, so what's going on, Scott?
We had a
Bradley?
crazy week this week. It was
Yeah,
wild.
did we?
I think so.
What happened?
Like what didn't happen? Like we had the carpets cleaned.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
I mean, Sears
When
came
Sears come to
and
the
they
carpet.
cleaned our carpets.
Yeah.
We just got a 10% discount for saying that.
No, we didn't. One day we'll be big enough Sears cares about this podcast.
We actually got like yelled at by the manager. Which was
We
kinda
did,
weird.
yeah.
We like asked for a quote on cleaning the tile, another huge thing, right?
Yeah.
And like he just like yelled at us, like I
Yeah.
can't honor that quote or something. I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
But that was big
Big deal.
deal.
We talked about that for like a lot.
Yeah,
That's a big conversation around here now. Like, the carpets look good.
yeah,
Carpets look good.
yeah. I mean, this is our life. I got through a whole episode of The Prophet on CNBC.
Yeah.
Great show with Marcus Lemonis.
Yeah, you like that show?
He's Green Aura, right?
He's indigo.
Oh, he's
and
indigo?
green.
Marcus
Mhm.
Lemonis
He's
is-
indigo and green.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
He's indigo and green.
Yeah.
I thought he'd been like pure green.
No. He's got like a big heart, like if you notice.
Yeah.
Not that green people don't, but he's got like an extra big heart.
Interesting. So we did that.
Yes.
Watched a full episode of that.
Okay.
And I just came back from taking Abby to school.
Life's
I mean,
crazy.
This is crazy
Life's
stuff.
craziness.
So I think what we're going to talk a little bit about before we get into the shades of the aura colors is a lot of people ask us, what's our life as like coworkers
Right.
and like doing the psychic thing and having 2 kids and, you know.
Like, what's our family life like?
What's the deal? So like for instance, just this morning I took Abby to preschool.
Right.
You know, it takes, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, half hour. And,
Right.
and what'd you do during that half hour?
I started an email reading.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I do. Like
Yeah.
when, I'm alone, that I do my readings.
Right.
And things like that. Yeah. And like, what else do we do? I mean, I feel like our life is so paranormally normal, I'll say, that like we just kind of do our thing and it's all meshed up. Like, I don't know, like we all, like Abby, for example, like she's obsessed with essential oils. Like she loves essential oils. She understands them. She like has this intuitive knowledge of them. She puts them on all of us. Like she's such a little healer. Like I'm seeing like things like come out in her. Brianna, our 10-year-old, she sees dead people. So like we'll go places and she'll either they're good or they're bad, and she likes to be there or she doesn't. And like sometimes we can't stay places because she'll have a freak out.
Right.
And that's just like we just understand that, like that's just our life. Or we like people are always like oddly attracted to her. Have
Really?
you noticed that? You've noticed Brianna.
Yeah.
Like people will just talk to her like the weirdest people, and she hates
she does hate that.
it. And she does not put any sort of vibe knowingly out there for them to talk to her, but they will. Like the creepiest people will talk to her all the time.
Yeah.
And it's her vibe.
It's her vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. But like she sees the dead people. And so like when we're out, like it's hard sometimes if we go to old places or whatever. And then with me, I feel like it's so normal for us to just talk about this. Like it's just part of our life.
Right.
But yeah, like this weekend you took the kids out to eat. Well, I did my readings in the house, stuff like that.
So like we don't have like the typical 9 to 5 schedule.
No.
It's more like we could be working at 11 o'clock at night. You might get an email return from us at 11 o'clock at night.
Usually we work 10 p.m. last night. You and I were doing stuff.
Yeah, last night we were like scrambling to figure out like waiting lists and things like that.
How do we do this? How do we restart? Organize.
Right.
Organizing's hard for us.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like your day.
No.
I mean, we could be doing 3 hours at night, nothing during the day,
Yeah.
and something like all day long and then nothing at night, so it changes.
Yeah.
Week to week. But so let's say someone comes for another question, just to kind of piggyback on this.
Yeah.
Is let's say someone comes for a reading. Now, from my angle, I take the kids out we go to Dunkin' Donuts. We have a grand old time. Probably the dollar store. Probably cost me more money than the actual reading, but nonetheless. So someone comes to the house. Let's say let's do an in-person reading.
Yeah.
So some people are scared.
Yes, everybody's always nervous when they go. Not everybody, but I would say like most people when they. The phone's different because it's just kind of like I get maybe you're in your own house, so it's not as nerve-wracking. But when they come to my house, they get all like, I'm nervous. Sometimes they'll say it. And it's like, first of all, I'm like not scary looking, so I think they get over it pretty quick. And then, like people are nervous, and then like I'll feel their nerves or whatever, and then we calm down. And so reading. So what's your question? Like, how does that work?
So what's the process? How does it start?
Yeah.
Because I'm not here for those.
So I start with my spiel, which is just like if they've never had a reading before, I tell them quickly how I work, and then I go into my prayer, and then I always start with the aura. And once I start talking, stuff just comes out, but I always have to start with the aura. Okay. I read this really annoying celebrity, we'll call her, kind of. She'll remain unnamed, I guess.
Oh my God, which one?
And I'm starting to do the reading for her, and she's just like, because I have to start with the aura, that's just my process. And she's like, stop, I'm psychic too, and I already know what I am, so I need you to please skip all past that and tell me if I'm going to be with this guy, my twin flame. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, she did the reading for herself.
Right.
And then she just wanted me, and she talked the whole time, and she just wanted me to, like, agree with her.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why you're single, and, like, this is why... like things aren't happening for you naturally because you're like basically telling the universe what to do and ignoring when it doesn't agree with you. But like, that's why like when you get a reading, I feel like from somebody that you trust or whatever, just see what they say, like see what they have to say, see where it leads you. Most like 99.9% of my clients, like that lady was just like, and it was crazy because she's like a well-known celebrity.
Yeah, I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't give it away.
Yeah, she's like, and she doesn't have a show anymore, but she used to. So she's like a little bit washed up in her mind. Right. She feels she's a little washed up.
On Bravo.
Yep. Oh yeah, you know who she is. Yeah, she's not a housewife, no. But she not on Bravo anymore. But like, yeah, and she was. It's just like, well, this is sometimes the way people treat me. I just see how like it's a microcosm of how they treat everyone else or how they treat the universe or how they treat energy or things like that. And it's like, okay, this is why like success is avoiding you because I want to avoid you now. But the best readings are the ones.
That's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, like when I want to like, okay, like I want to just end this. It's like, that's why you're not getting opportunities because like I just take on the energy of like a reactionary energy to your energy. And that's just how the universe will respond to you. But like in readings, like all my people come and they're just like, all right, just say it. And then we always go to whatever they wanted to talk about anyhow for the most part. But yeah, spirit, like when I do a reading, spirit takes over. Like
could someone be coming in being like, I want to know about, my friend, Dan.
Yeah.
But it really Spirit's going to go in a whole nother direction that they might not have never saw coming.
Yeah, that happens.
Is that true?
Yes. No? Like if you're coming in to talk about, dead mom and you have her picture, like, yeah, we're going to talk about her. We'll get to that. And like, she'll probably even come in or it'll come up or whatever. But it might be about something completely different for you. Like it might be like, whoa, like now we're talking about your career choices or your kid or like whatever. Or like, something that happened in the past or like how you deal with relationships or things. And because it's always like, sometimes when people come with like a littler picture, like spirit always gives you the bigger picture of everything. Cause they kind of want to, like the way that I work, they want to give you kind of like the formative framework for how to move on, with the best skills and, tools you can use authentically that are your own. So.
Okay. Yeah. So all this is happening.
Every reading's different.
While
I never have the same reading. It's all when you're with the kids at the dollar store.
This is all at the dollar store where I'm arguing over like the crap that they've just put in the cart.
When you're like trying not to buy a squishy.
I'm trying not to buy a squishy, and you're talking to like deceased Aunt Sally or something. Okay. And is there like a closure to it, or it just kind of ends, flows to an ending, or how does it? Yeah,
I always ask, throughout intermittently any questions they have, and at the end I try to get any last questions they have, and then it's over. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So
usually by an hour I'm like tapped out anyways. Like I get really tired, and that's kind of like spirit. Kind of, it's hard to keep the vibration for a really long time. That's why, like, when if there's mediums or psychics and they're doing like a ton all the time, like, I don't know, like, I find that a little bit like sketchy because like it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of energy for anyone to stay on that vibration for a really long time because it's a hard vibration to stay on.
Yeah.
For all day, or so like an hour is like my limit, and then like 2 hours is my limit for the entire day.
Right.
That's why.
And that's why we're going to.
That's why I have a waiting list.
Yeah, we have a waiting list, and we lowered the timing.
This is why I have a waiting list, because I can only do 2 hours a day, and then I start getting like sick or like no, but like that's that. But that's anybody who like really taps into spirit, like you know.
I agree.
Yeah, it's energetic. Like my whole body gets involved.
Yeah, like if you see someone reading 10, 20, 30 people in a day, they're not tapping.
Be careful.
They're not tapping with
that. Yeah, because it's just going to end up being, it could be very general.
Right. They're not really actually tapping into your energy.
Yeah, there could be just cold readings or things like that.
Because the most you'll do for your in-person sessions would be 3, right? Or 3 phones. Back to back to back.
But it's 2 hours total.
But it's 2 hours and change. Yeah, 2 hours and change.
And I can't do that every day. So
Right. That's why we don't do many parties. We stay. We do some parties, but we get a lot of requests for parties.
Right.
But we can only do so many.
I'm very limited with that.
And then when we do events, we limit it to a certain amount of people.
Right. I try to keep it small.
Right.
That's just me. That's how I work.
Yeah, that's just how you do it. But you really are tapping in. And that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not because you could do this all day, but you wouldn't be tapping into their energy.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So then we all get back, and then what else we do? We sometimes we might have like a meeting with like a production company, or an interview for a magazine,
right?
Or
sometimes it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I lock myself in the in a closet, and I talk to somebody on the radio.
We have done that.
And they're like, this celebrity psychic, Mystic Michaela. And I'm like, I am literally hiding in a closet right now from my children. Like, so it's quiet. Because like they just write. Yeah. I'm like a mom too, so I have to hide and any mom knows you have to hide in the closet sometimes if you need to talk quietly.
And I'm trying and believe it or not, I am trying my best.
You're like giving them chocolate. You're like throwing them like just whatever. Yeah. Keep them quiet.
Well, that could probably be why the kids think like they can get anything from it, which is true. Because at that moment they got me. They got me like, what am I going to do?
You're scared of them.
Can I have another brownie?
You're scared of them.
Well, if I say no, there's going to be screaming.
They scare you.
And then the podcast interview or whatever interview you're doing might, get messed up.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's our life.
And we do have the game plan too. Like if we are both on a call, because sometimes we have to both take the calls, then we're like, all right, if this happens, I'll get Abby at this moment in time.
Right.
If all things fall apart.
Right.
So we have that too.
We have it.
Yeah. So
we work well together.
Yes, we're coworkers. And speaking of
coworkers,
since we are such great coworkers,
we are.
Every year for Christmas, for the holidays, we do certain gifts.
Well, let's back it up a little bit.
You back it up. You're better at this stuff than
I am. We've been together. We're coming on 20 years.
Okay. So
that's going to be like 20 Christmases.
Right. Like the Star Wars movie, A Galaxy.
Oh, yes.
A long time ago.
And of course we used to do like, here, you'd give me jewelry and I'd give you like a shirt you had to pretend to like and like things like that. Like we used to like exchange, like, well, here's the thing, Scott is a terrible gift receiver, like awful. Like I give you something, Scott, like immediately you're like, ew. Like, so I learned like, I don't know, like at least 15 years ago not to give you stuff.
Okay.
It was always like, I'll just get you what you wanted or get you an experience or something like that. Like that was better.
Right. Well, the best time was when you got me a star.
I did. I have a star named after you. You made such fun of that. It was so mean.
No, there's a star out there named after me.
It is.
It's called Scott?
I have like a whole map.
Yeah.
Like where it is.
We might have to change the name on that.
Why?
To Bradley's star.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. See if there's
probably
a service fee for that.
And like after that, I was like, screw this. Like, you can get your own gifts. Like, and I'll just like, but then we decided.
Right. Then we're going to do a whole nother.
You know what? We know each other too well. Let's make it the impersonal gift.
Right.
So every year we strive to win who gives the other person the most impersonal gift. And we have like the best time with this.
Right. And I'm on a huge
I'm a reigning champion.
Yeah, I'm on a big losing streak.
Because he doesn't understand how to be impersonal. Like one year, he gave me like a lotion sampler and a cutting board with the letter M in it. And I'm like, this is so, like, you would never give somebody lotions.
Right.
because that's super creepy. Like the whole thing is you have to embody the impersonalness of it.
Okay. And then last year, I got destroyed again.
You got me the world's best boss mug. Like, that's so personal.
Right.
And like a coffee notepad.
That was okay.
But you'd have to know somebody liked coffee. You know what I mean? Like, that's not impersonal. Like, this is like, and I gave you last year.
What'd you give me?
$10 donation in your name to the American Red Cross and Lindor Chocolate.
That was very generous of you.
Yeah. And the year before, I got you Dunkin' Donuts gift card and a bottle of champagne.
Right.
Oh, we have a $20 limit. That's the other thing. There's a $20. We have a $20 limit. Right. You're not allowed to spend more than $20.
One year, wasn't there like barbecue sauce involved?
Okay, I lost that year.
I won that year?
Yeah, because one year I gave you like a barbecue sauce sampler, and you gave me just like this crappy notepad Christmas tree with like a little Christmas pen. You won that year. I used that a lot.
And this has really become a thing. The kids love this.
The kids love it. They're like, oh my God, they get more excited about this than like their own gifts because we do it the last gift on Christmas.
All right, so this year we have a couple ground rules. Okay, so here are the rules.
Okay, Scott made these up. You changed it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I changed it a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I got to try to win. I'm on a losing streak.
Well, you stop making it personal. Yeah. That's your issue.
All right.
Okay.
So here are the rules.
Okay.
The limit is still $20. Plus tax this year.
Okay, ooh.
Yeah, it used to be 20 with the tax.
Yes, that's correct.
With the 7% sales tax in Florida, that would give you an extra $1.40.
Okay,
so
great.
$21.40.
Okay.
You have.
Cool.
Okay. Rule number 2.
You're getting a blank card.
It has to be a gift that you would get a coworker.
Okay, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Now, do we know each other as coworkers?
Yes, like in our role as coworkers together, like
here.
doing the podcast.
Okay, so I have
to
compartmentalize our relationship and see you just as like the person that schedules my readings now. And like will tell me like this or that, and like handles the
business,
LinkedIn.
right?
Okay,
and all that stuff. So it's a
coworker. All right. So I got to take out all. Got it.
Correct. And the third rule this year is that the gift must come from the Burlington Coat Factory.
I know what I'm getting you. I already know.
I have not been in that store.
I already won.
You've already won.
Yep. I know what I'm getting you.
Okay, so the gift has to come from the Burlington Coat Factory. I picked that because it's an easy place for you to get to from the Y.
Coat Factory. Oh, because it's closed.
It's closed. It was going to be Tuesday mornings, but that's like kind of a drive. You got to go up 441.
Yeah,
you got to deal with the holiday traffic.
Yeah,
not good.
All right, Burlington Coat
Factory. It's on Military Road, right by the Y.
2140.
You go to the Y, jump right in there. Yeah. You get your gift.
Got it.
All right, but it has to come from there.
Okay.
If it doesn't, it's an automatic disqualification.
I already know what I'm getting you, and I win.
Have you been in the Burlington?
No, but I know they have this item.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I just like this is an item like most places would have.
Was it on the commercial?
No.
Okay. All right. So
those
are parameters, and we will see who the winner is.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
On Christmas, you guys can decide who won.
I think
we'll let the people decide.
I think my losing streak is coming to an end this year.
But I think we have to justify because it's not the impersonal gift and it's a coworker gift.
Yeah.
That means we have to justify why the coworker gets this gift, why it makes sense for this coworker to have a gift. Like, because that's a little different. Because like if you work with somebody every day, like you know that they do something the same way every day or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're giving me ideas here.
So I'm just saying, like, so there has to be a justification with it. Because this is different from impersonal to coworker that you know.
Right.
That's different. Like impersonal is just like you'd give to somebody you had no relationship with, like whatsoever.
Like, because you're not going to get me like a tie because our dress code for work is like sometimes our pajamas.
Right.
So if you wouldn't get me a tie.
Correct.
Okay.
There's no tie.
All right.
But that would be a great impersonal gift.
A tie.
I think so.
Coworker gift.
Like impersonal gift
for a coworker.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do a tie. Well, I already won. I know, like bottle of champagne, Dunkin' Donuts card. That's an impersonal gift.
But this is different.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Coworker.
Yeah, but we have to have the justification. Okay, we get it.
Okay.
Rules established.
All right. So basically, I think what you're going to be talking about in a few minutes is shades of colors.
So I'm talking about aura color shades. People were asking me. You know, when I do the readings, I go right into. You're sparkly, or this is dense, or this is like bursty over here. Like I talk like that, and like it's a light blue instead of a dark blue, and so I'm gonna explain that today. Yeah, because I think a lot of, and it stems from because a lot of people were thinking, well, if you hear one person's purple, and then you don't relate to that one person, you're thinking, well, maybe I'm not purple, right?
So like, I think I know I've heard you on many interviews say, aura colors are like snowflakes.
Yes.
Where there's no two that are the same.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah. So like I'm red and blue, but what you're saying is like all red and blues might not be the same as me.
It's like a shirt. If I wear it and you wear it, it's going to look different.
Okay. Like in those magazines where they have like who wore it better?
Yes.
Like didn't like Joan Rivers or something do that?
like in Us Weekly.
Yeah, they have
who wore the same dress better,
right.
And then like people would like.
And someone gets like 90%, the other one gets like 4%.
I know.
That's so mean.
It's mean. It is mean.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
All right. So today's topic is throwing shade in aura color, which is a little salty. Like that's not exactly what I mean, but it sounded cute. All right. So yeah, like I was saying. There are 5 main aura colors: purple, blue, yellow, green, and red. But here's the thing. They all have shades. And how one person wears a color is not how everyone else wears it. And when I do a reading, and if you've had a reading with me, you'll see that I kind of go into what it looks like or what I'm seeing. And that's just part of my process. Like as I start describing it, the meanings come out symbolically and metaphorically as I do it. And that's how I get a lot of information. So purple. There's kind of like a consistency with the purple energy. They're fun. They're intuitive. They're good energy readers. They are empathic, but they have good boundaries. They are usually creative or artistic in some way. I mean, I'm purple. I can't draw, at all, but I do this, Usually purples, they need to be creative with life in general. Like their life has to look different or be different or things like that. But there are different types of purple. Now, you've heard me talk about hot mess purple, okay? So that's like when I see a darker color, it feels like something's brewing. This is like the person needs a major need for change, and this is where the biggest risk of self-destruction is here. Like this is where I see like mental issues or sometimes just like self-harm behaviors, even addiction sometimes. I see bad relationships, all sorts of stuff can all come with the hot mess purple, this dark, dark, dark purple color. It's like a dense color. This is where like the dropping of the purple bombs I talk about can happen. A purple bomb is when a purple basically is just like blows up their life, like in the most irresponsible way ever. And listen, if you're purple, you've done it. You have done it. Somebody on the Mystic Michaela family page put on something about like quitting their job and their day job because they just couldn't handle it anymore, and they were getting ready to throw a purple bomb. And it made me remember, I don't know if you remember that JetBlue guy. It was like back in 2010, and he quit in the most epic way. He was like a flight attendant, and you can look it up. It's just so funny. He was a flight attendant, and it was before the plane took off. And that was it was like his last straw. Somebody said something rude to him, and he just like was like, F this. And he grabbed 2 beers from the cart, and he opened up the door and pulled the, that chute you're supposed to slide down, and he left. He's like, I quit. He just like left. And like, that's a purple bomb, like he totally got fined for that. Like it was all over the news. But you know what? Can't go back after you throw a purple bomb. That's it. You're not a flight attendant ever again. Like, you just bombed that. So, like, it's kind of like it can freak you out after you throw the bomb, but there was something about it that, like, you needed to do it. So that's what purples do. But I can see that when, like, it's darker. It's like a darker purple. Are there better ways to do things than throw a bomb? Yes. Yeah, you say, hey, I give my 2 weeks notice. I'm not into this job anymore. I, give myself permission to grow and change. All right, well, when you're a darker purple shade, you might not be there. But then there's like a lighter purple. This is like floaty purple, kind of like, I see it like kind of lavenderish color. It's kind of, it feels like cotton candy or something, but like purple. This is like acceptance. This is like, this person can feel like when I usually talk about, oh, they're loud. The first one's on the dance floor, blah, blah, blah. Lighter purples, not so much. Like super non-judgmental, all that stuff. But they might not be as like attention getting as the other types of purples, but they are super into acceptance. This is life. This is exactly how it is, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to change it, and I'm okay with the way things are. They can have like a feeling of disassociation sometimes, like they won't try to change anything. It is what it is. But yeah, they don't want so much attention. Like that's not important for them. Usually like I say purples are in the spotlight or whatever. The lavender purples, not so much. So it's kind of like this floaty, chill energy. Then I talk about like aura cracking purple. Sometimes I'll tell people, all right, I see cracks of purple. like our crevices. I see purple bursting through. I'll literally see it like in the aura. I'll see like these cracks. It looks like when lava comes through, I guess, the rock or whatever, those like, but it's purple, like those streams of light through darkness. That's life change stuff. That's like when you are just, it's kind of like burning away layers and layers and layers of programming, and you are completely ready for your next step. That's the aura crack in purple. And I'll see that sometimes too. Sparkly. Oh, I see sparkles in you. Sparkles of purple, and, I'll see like different aura colors, that aren't purple. And I'll be like, but you got sparks of purple in there, like little sparkles. Life change. Curious, but it's a curious kind of way. It's a softer way. They're ready for it. They're ready for excitement. It's kind of like being in love with life. They're starting to like think about, ooh, what can I do different? What's next? So that's like this sparkly purple, or sparkles of purple in another aura color. Okay, then there's blue. So blues, we know, are empaths. Again, they're a little different. They are like healers. I see a lot of them like nurses or therapists, teachers, things like that. Moms, dads, like love family, that kind of thing. They're absorbent. They absorb other people's feelings as their own. That's a big thing. They absorb other people's feelings as their own. The thing with blues is they have a hard time sometimes understanding. This is where their ego will creep in. Understanding, is that me or is that someone else? They'll just think it's them all the time. They won't even ask that question. So I see a couple different blues. So sometimes I'll see this like saturated blue. I'll call it saturated blue. It's like a darker blue. And I'll see it on somebody, and it's just like, sometimes it's like cloudy and it's all over them. And I'll say to you like, okay, your aura is really saturated. It's dark. It's bigger than it should be. It's kind of all over you. It's all over the other colors. It's like saturated looking. Overwhelmed. Right then, when I see this, there's the biggest risk of hormone issues, autoimmune issues, depression. It's like I'll get this when somebody has the feeling like they are the only solution for every freaking problem in their life that has nothing to do with them, by the way. And that's how the ego can like really hijack a blue. It can make the blue feel like if you don't fix everything, you suck. And really saturated dark blue color people, I get that the most on them. So that's kind of like what that is. But then sometimes I get like I call it like floaty blue. It's like a lighter blue. It's like they're ready to heal. They're ready for light work. They're more balanced. The feelings of not enough. It can be a little strong, like, oh, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe a little like a lot of trepidation, a little all over the place with who they are. Sometimes it's harder for them to pinpoint their identity, but they're ready to go try something. They just don't know what. So it's kind of like, it's a healthy color, but it also like they need like their other color to come in and help them out a little bit. Splotchy blue. Sometimes I'll see blue and it's like in like, I don't know, it looks like paint splatters of blue, like over somebody's aura. This is like when they're feeling guilty about not being enough of a person to everyone else. But the thing is like, if you surround yourself with messy people, if you surround yourself with people that don't have solutions to their problems, and they never will, if you surround with people that continue to like to be sick and never want to get better, like, you're not going to be able to fix them anyhow. And sometimes splotchy blues will find these people on purpose as like their self-fulfilling prophecy of not being able to fix people. So it's just kind of like, I'll try to fix you, but I never can. And that's like their cycle, their hamster wheel they got to get off of. That's like a splotchy blue thing. Then there's like what I call like victim blue. This is where like somebody's just, and I feel like, and listen, if you're blue, you've gone through this. Like, it's a moment in your life you're like, why does everything happen to me? Why is everything always happening to me? Like, it's like, oh my God, it's always happening to me. Like, you feel like you have no control over things. And if you're blue, you've gone through it. You've just gone through those moments. And it happens. It's kind of, I talk about this too in my empath episode. It's like when you're like you have this like anger as it, like when you become an empath and you're aware, you can get very angry. Like, wow, everything happens to me. Wow, everyone's mean to me. Whoa, I'm just used all the time. All right. You got to like move through that moment, and like take back your control. But I'll see victim blue. What does that look like? It kind of looks kind of sharper, and it has more stubborn feel to it. I don't know how to describe that in color. It feels stubborn. It feels like it's more like a wall. Like, it feels like a blue wall. But blues who are very healthy, like, they understand that they can do all these things. Like, all you have to do to be healthy blue is understand that you can do all these things. And usually when I see a healthy blue, it's very balanced with another color. So it's, it's balanced with whatever color they are. They have a good, healthy support system of the other color helping them out. Okay, yellows. So yellows, often I say, okay, yellows are organized. And sometimes some yellow people are like, I'm not organized. My closet looks like crap. Like, that's not me. Because not every yellow is the same. And different yellows get prioritize where they're organized. But yellows in general have a thing for the system. They like their own system. They're a little independent. They like to do things their own way. It's funny because I always say, like, yellows are the type, like, if there's a group project, they're either leading it or they're just doing it themselves. They're not, it's hard for a yellow to take a back seat when there's a process happening. They would much rather enjoy being in charge of the process than being a backseat to somebody else's process in general. But there's different types of yellow. So the first one I see is, I call it the buttoned up yellow. So these are like your prim and proper, they see how things look on paper. They're very concerned with tradition and how things are done. They can be really offended by people not respecting the order of things. This is like, it's like, I don't know, like a little Martha Stewart-y, like you're like the stereotypical like grandma or something, like, this is how it is, oh my gosh, don't offend me with your language, who doesn't understand that, dinner's at this time, that kind of thing, a little buttoned up. Like, you don't really want to, like, you could shock them easily if you say something to them that, like, is shocking to them. Like, so you have to, you feel like you have to kind of watch your mouth around these people a little bit. But then there's also because I said so yellows. All right. So these are like my way or the highway kind of yellow person. It's a little darker. It's not a healthy one. They have this need for total control. And they have a false reality. So sometimes yellows can get, like, basically they're logical. Yellow people can be very logical. And they can, if the logic runs away with them and the ego comes and hijacks the whole situation, what can happen is they can build their whole reality off of their own logic. But the problem is that somebody else, like, is going to come in and be like, well, that's not the way it is. And they have a total rejection of how their reality and how they've explained it to you may feel to you. It's like vibe attention. They have no vibe attention or vibe awareness. So, I mean, for example, I get these people like who, I have these readings all the time. Like, I'll just say, like yesterday, somebody's mom, they wanted to talk about their mom. And, this woman grew up in a family where there's a lot of fighting, and the mom wasn't super nurturing, and she was kind of a because I said so yellow. And, like, she'll never validate her kids that she wasn't 100%, like, she just couldn't be there for them, like, attentively or anything like that. Because in her mind, she's like, what? I fed you. I put clothes on you. I gave you, you had food in the fridge. Like, what's your issue? Like, because I said so, you had a good childhood, okay? And, like, here's the thing, like, there's different interpretations to things, and you have to always, like, understand that your reality is not other people's realities. But because I said so yellow does not believe that. They say, like, well, because I said so, my reality is your reality, and you should accept it. That's not how it works. Okay, so that's those types of, but it's like a darker color. It looks like mustard. Bright yellows. This is a good yellow. They're optimistic. They're cheerful. They're ready to get going. They're curious. This is like, I see, like, it's bright lights. It's like so bright, like it's like a lemony color. And it kind of goes in with this other yellow I call. It's like a sparkly yellow. I call it like manifest in yellow. It's like they're ready to manifest. So manifest in yellow. These people are like sparkles in their aura. So it's like bright sparkles. They kind of go hand in hand. Fun to be around. Calm, like I said, the best place for manifestation of what they want. They have attachment to things without clinginess. So it's like they want something to happen, but they're not like, or whatever's equivalent. Like, they're not like so attached to the outcome has to be exactly how they envision it. They understand, like, they can be open to maybe something even better. They have feelings of hope and confidence. They're artistic, major creative inspiration. So those are manifesting yellows. And anybody can get there to these colors who's, any of these colors. You can get to manifest in yellow if you're yellow. You can get there. That's a great yellow place to be at. Like I say, yellows do the best at the law of attraction and manifesting. They're pretty good at it. The other color that does best is like purple. Pink does good too, by the way. I didn't even get to that. But, okay, reds. So the many reds. So I'll call my first one, it's a darker red, okay? We'll call it Fireball Red. It's like they're darker. They're like angry all the time, like angry at the system. Their control feels jeopardized. They can be like rash and self-destructive with their choices and risk taking. I see these Fireball Reds like getting into like fights, like fist fights, violence. They, all sorts of like verbal spats. Many issues with authority. I can see them getting self-destructive, like, they drive while drunk or do something really stupid like that. They drink too much, intense repetitive behavior. That's like Fireball Red, like just really angry, and their red look, it's almost like this dark maroon color. It's not good. But then there's Army Sergeant Red. Okay. This is strict, respect, number one. Character, very important to them. This red it looks more like, I don't know, like a kind of like a, what's the red? Like it looks more like a regular red. I don't know, like if you got a red Crayola crayon, that's what it looks like to me. So really into if this is your parent, like you do chores, respect is earned, not owed. They're very concerned with service to others and how that defines you. So this is like the parent or the person that's like, the kids know, like I get up, I mow the lawn, I don't ask, that's done by 6 a.m. every Saturday. Like these are like, you don't mess with the Army Sergeant Red. These are people who usually, and I call them that because they like feel like they're in the military, like that, like very strict. But then there's Alpha Red, less dark red. They're more cherry red. This is a good red. They're like calm, they're in control. They usually manage or supervise other people, or they're entrepreneurs in a good way. They understand how others operate. They understand how they themselves operate. They're very concerned with injustice and fairness. They have major respect of others if you respect them, like it's mutual. They're very secure in themselves. They have that alpha energy. They're leaders. Like they don't yell, they just kind of like, this is how it is. And then everybody understands it because it's fair. So that's kind of like a leadership color. And then, of course, there's my edgy red, because sometimes reds can like go all over the place. They're kind of like purples. Red and purple, even though they're so opposite, have a lot in common in that they're passionate. The passion is kind of like on the same wavelength. So reds can go either way, like Fireball Red and Hot Mess Purple. That's a thing. Like they're kind of the same. And edgy reds, just like purples, they can kind of move and shift kind of between all the stages depending on what the environment or life throws them. Greens. Talked about greens in one of my episodes, So You Married a Green. But real quick, so there's, I talked about the CEO green. It's a very bright, beaming, light green, which is basically everything they touch turns to gold. They're super confident, easy with accomplishments. Money just comes to them. Then I have the science guy green. They're a little more grassy colored green, like grass green. Nature-based, logical thinking, black and white. They're not super talkative. They see things from a systematic standpoint. Then we have the guru green. That green's it's almost like a see-through kind of a green color when I see it, very translucent, super connected to you. They can connect real quick, but then they can ghost away if they feel like they've lost emotional control in the situation. They need to be followed, not led, and they also need to feel like you want to follow them and they didn't really have to convince you to do it, if it makes sense. Gamer green. It's like a brighter lime green. They have this elitist attitude about where they are in life and super challenging when asked to reach a little higher. So they don't like to be asked, to get more motivated. They don't like that at all. Like it makes them kind of angry. They see the world and how it works so well that they've decided to live in kind of a subculture-y way about it. So they're kind of a tougher green. And I'll add this one, chameleon green. I talked about this on my live show the other day. Chameleon greens, they change their color depending on who they're with. Like they're greens, but they'll change their tune to fit the audience. So these are they're very salesy. So they're great to talk to. They can talk to anybody, but then it depends who they talk to. They'll change their opinions or what they're talking about or anything like that. Chameleon greens. So those are the 5 vein aura colors, but I wanted to bring in some of my other colors too. So indigos, for example. I often say this to some indigos. I just call it you're so indigo, you don't know you're indigo color. Because some people are so flippin' indigo, they don't realize that all the feelings aren't theirs. And the other day I had a woman sitting at my table for an in-person reading, and she's like, I told her that she's indigo and explained to her what that meant. And then she's like, okay. She's like, well, all I know is that like, I don't like to share my feelings with other people because then I feel how they feel about my feelings. And then it makes me feel bad. I'm like, okay, you just explained indigo. Like you're so indigo. You don't know you're indigo. That's indigo. Like, that's not normal, like that's an indigo thing. But then sometimes I see like the borderline indigo. It's like where the indigo and the blue are like super close together. And it's like it could go one way or the other. It's like indigo blue. And usually it's like they're shedding a color or like they're kind of becoming more themselves or things like that. But like indigo and blue can sometimes walk a line. If the blue's real dark and, it's kind of like they're kind of like going into the indigo. It's just, yeah, I get borderline people sometimes. And then I do see purple in the indigo aura. So some people are like, I'm indigo, but I identify with aspects of purple. It's because there's purple in indigo. And if you look at the color itself, there's purple hues in indigo color. Like if you look in like just a color wheel or whatever. But yeah, but like some people have purple attributes and they're indigo. So turquoises. I talked about this on my post earlier this week. Because I have a turquoise little one, she's 4, and I had to ask Spirit to really help me with her because turquoise, it's been a challenge, and it's a rare color, and like turquoises, I've just gotten all this insight from Spirit about turquoise, and it's been very fascinating to me. And turquoises, it's like when I asked Spirit for help, they showed me a pool of water, and it's like it has a still surface, and when you look into this pool of water, you see yourself. But the turquoise is the pool of water that holds that reflection. And for that one moment, they're the same. And that's the problem with turquoises. They don't have boundaries. They have the least amount of boundaries of any of the empaths. So they can go through a lot of phases. They can go through a lot of different points in their life where they don't know who they are. They can have like real issues with identity. But the true gift that they have is the ability to reflect back others to them. They're like a big old mirror walking around. And I mean, that's their gift. And if they understand that that's what they do, then they can also understand that when they hold up that mirror for somebody, it does not mean that they are the reflection. It just means they're holding the mirror. So I see them often as healers, and I just wanted to talk about that with the turquoises because, I've had some turquoises be like, can you talk more about turquoises? And it really does, depending on the other color they have, like that color will help them gain perspective of their turquoise abilities. So if they're yellow and turquoise, you have to talk yellow to them to make them understand their turquoise. If they're indigo and turquoise, you got to talk indigo to them to make them understand their turquoise. If they're, purple and turquoise, et cetera. Like their other color kind of has to be the one that's talked to gain control over their turquoise abilities. Because the turquoise, it's like water. It just flows. And I often see turquoise as becoming the missing pieces of people that the other people need. And that's not always healthy. So yeah, turquoises can end up in like tough relationships sometimes. So yay, I have a turquoise kid. So that'll be fun. So that is my aura color shades. Throw in shade and aura color. If you have any questions, I'm more than willing to answer them. I'll put this up on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family and we can have a total discussion about it. And gonna talk to Scott now.
Wow. So many different shades of colors.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I didn't realize it either because, like, I guess when I talk, I don't realize that I'm, like, saying all these things. And then people are like, wait, what does cloudy mean? Wait, what does sparkly mean? Wait, what does cracking mean? Like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I should probably explain all that. Because sometimes, like, I'll just say it, and it's just, like, Spirit's way of leading me into more messages. So it's like I have to think about how I think.
Yeah.
It's like meta thinking.
So which red am I?
Well, like, you change a lot. Like, we talked about reds and how they shift and move through things.
Okay.
And, like, you're red. You're, like, alpha red, but sometimes your blue gets super, like, saturated, and it saturates your red.
Oh, so then...
So that means
what does that mean? Yeah.
That means that the blue can take over the red, and you do that thing where, and I noticed this too, like where everything's your fault. So like even when something good happens, sometimes you'll be like, how am I gonna screw this up?
like Eeyore?
Yeah, you sound like Eeyore. Like if something like exciting's happening or whatever, I can see you being like, just sometimes you get like really stressed out and you're like, oh, I don't know how you know, how am I going to foul at this or like stuff like that. It's like the blue will take over and like it's this like kind of like thought process where you're not going to be able to be successful at it or lead or fix it or whatever. So it'll like kind of saturate the red.
Okay.
But like when your red is on, you're like good. You're like alpha red. You're like very in charge, take over in a good way. And you're respectful and, you know, you care about others and things like that, you know, so you're a good leader, but you got to make sure that blue doesn't saturate it.
Right. I'm not that Army Sergeant Red, right?
No.
That's not.
Please.
Yeah.
I wish you had a little bit of that with the kids.
With the kids?
Yeah, because like our kids are lazy and like, you know, like Army Sergeant kids are not, Army Sergeant Red kids are not lazy.
That's like make your bed, eat all your veggies.
You don't even say it. They do it.
Just make the bed.
They know.
Wow.
Yeah, they just know.
Do I have it in me to get some of this Army Sergeant Red?
I don't think so.
No.
You don't care enough about
nonsense.
That. Yeah. You don't care enough about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of it. I just don't care.
Yeah, you're more like alpha red.
Can I be apathy red?
That's funny. No. Apathetic red.
Apathetic red.
Yeah. Like, I think Reds have that in them.
But then I get but I do like what you were saying. I do get really heated on something like injustice. Yeah. Or something so like nonsensical. Like, you know, I was just watching this morning. Like they were the Grammys. And
no, it's the Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes, whatever, same old stuff. And like they're like these people they're with all like they have like 45 award shows and you know
I know
I'm wearing this person and my dress costs $17 million. And they're complaining and I'm like, really?
Like so out of touch.
What about like an award show for like police officers or teachers or dentists?
Right.
Yeah,
like seriously.
Yeah. Hypnotherapists.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't want to. I mean, you made a movie. Wow, you made a movie. Look at you. You made a movie. Woohoo! And now I want to have 17,000 awards for making a movie. That's my red coming out, right?
Or that you just got like really angry about it.
Yeah, I just got really mad.
Yeah, but that's okay because the reds kind of go up and down and go through. But like, alpha reds get really stressed about injustice and things like that. All the reds do, honestly.
All the reds do,
It just depends what degree. Like, like the fireball red may get like really, those are your road ragers because they're like, I'm mad about the injustice of you being too slow in the left-hand lane. And it's like, okay, you got to chill out.
Right.
That's not like enough to get all angry about. Yeah. You know, not like the Golden Globes or anything.
But you know, as a red, sometimes you get validation.
Yes.
Because I don't remember what episode it was.
Yeah.
But I was talking about Art and the Blue Dot.
Oh.
And how like that was such nonsense.
Yes.
And then what comes out over the weekend? A banana taped to a wall.
That's right.
Everyone thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it goes for $120,000.
Yeah.
And you can see how ridiculous it is.
Do you think that was fake? I don't know. Come on.
It probably was.
And then the guy ate it and it was like performance art. But now everybody's talking about it. I mean, especially you.
Yeah, and I'm really talking about it. And I actually made my own art with 2 little ripe cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
I'm selling it for $34,000.
Put that on your story.
I had 3 offers. Yeah, I did put that.
Did you?
Yeah, I put it on my story. I had 3 offers.
Yeah.
It was like one was like for a nickel, but
it's okay.
Yeah.
You should take that off.
I probably should take that off.
You should.
Since I ate one of them already. So.
Yeah.
But anyway. Well, speaking of all these foods,
yes,
I thought it'd be interesting. I always wondered this.
Is this a game?
No, not really a game.
Okay,
more of like kind of for fun to wrap it up. It's the holidays.
It is.
And the question that we asked the Mystic Michaela spiritual family on Facebook was, "What is your favorite breakfast food?" And then what is your aura color?
Oh.
So we wanted to see if there was some sort of
correlation
between like you like a bagel and you're a red.
Yes.
You like a whatever an omelet and you're like turquoise.
Okay.
So let's see what they came up with. And let's see if this makes sense.
This is interesting.
Okay. The first one we have here is from Monica, photographer.
Oh, Monica June Photography.
Right. And she says, "My favorite is eggs and bacon with a Diet Coke." And she's purple.
She's like that floaty purple.
Okay.
Yeah, like I like that the Diet Coke's in there.
Yeah.
Like for breakfast.
Right.
That's so rebellious.
Diet Coke is her coffee. I love that one.
That's really funny.
So that would match. Purple.
Yeah, she's kind of like, I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
Yeah. That's really funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a correlation here, Scott.
Well, let's find out.
Let's keep going.
This is research.
Continue.
This is for the good of mankind.
We need this.
Good of mankind.
This is important.
Okay.
All right, let's see what else.
All right, so Beth, our neighbor in Greystone.
Yes, Beth.
She says she's not a breakfast person at all, but she does make chocolate chip pancakes and eggs for her family every Sunday.
She's blue.
We know that.
Yeah.
Craig loves those
Beth is blue.
Cracker Barrel pancakes.
He does.
She has no interest in it herself.
Wow. It's for other people.
It's for other people.
So selflessly blue.
Yeah, and
That
she prefers yogurt.
Wow. See, that correlates.
Yeah, and she's a blue.
She's a blue, selfless. She gets up. She cooks all those chocolate chip pancakes for other people. And she eats yogurt in the corner.
All right, so far the research is saying that
so far
there is a correlation
it's correlating
between your aura color and your favorite breakfast.
This is breakthrough.
Oh man!
What?
Instead of like going for Cosmo, we should be like doing like the scientific journals of America.
We should get somebody here to record this.
Yeah, we're in the wrong. We're doing it all wrong.
We're doing this incorrectly.
Completely wrong. Forget Cosmo and Shape Magazine and Mashable. We need scientific journals of Harvard law.
We need a science guy
Harvard,
Green
yeah.
here from Harvard.
Yes. All right, Heather sometimes says breakfast for dinner.
Oh.
And
what color is she? Which Heather's that?
This is Heather Bessinger.
Oh, yeah.
Blue and purple.
Yeah. She's indigo and purple, actually.
Indigo and purple. Okay.
Yeah. Her blue shed into indigo.
Right. And she'll eat anything for breakfast. Oh, that makes sense for an indigo.
Yeah.
It can kind of
like whatever.
flow with it.
Whatever, man. Anything, even dinner food.
Wow.
See, that's gross. My dad does that, though, and he's green.
Yeah.
Like, my dad will eat, like, chili, like, at 8 a.m. And, like, I just start gagging.
So that'd be green.
I don't know. They need to. Okay. Heather might be breaking some molds.
All right, Heather. We'll see. Okay. We have Jennifer. She is teal, like turquoise, and a yellow aura.
Oh, this is good. Okay.
And she likes her eggs over medium.
Okay.
I would think they would be runny for
it's very
turquoise.
Specific.
Right? What did turquoise like? Runny eggs?
Oh, because they're like waterish.
Watery, yeah.
Yeah. But the yellow would like it specifically over medium.
Wait a second.
What?
Sausage
Oh.
and burnt rye toast with coffee over it?
Wait, what? Is that what she said?
Yeah, and burnt rye toast with pour over coffee.
Wow.
That I've never heard of. Like I love coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm not dipping my rye toast in coffee.
I think that makes sense because she's super specific about how weird it is.
Okay.
And turquoises are odd. And that it's all like mushy and saturated. Like turquoises are obsessed with water and like liquids and like things being wet. Even Abby, ever noticed that? Like she puts all her animals and toys in water constantly.
Yes.
Like I'm like, you're gonna destroy all your crayons. She just needs to see them in water. Obviously, this chick does it with her. Jen does it with her coffee.
Jennifer,
and rye toast.
Yeah, I've never heard.
That's different.
Pouring the coffee over the breakfast.
It's like mushy.
She might, if she does listen to this, she might want to.
You might have to clarify
the next
that,
podcast
Jen.
and clarify for us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Olivia.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Purple. Mm-hmm. Blue. Red Bull with Mexican leftovers.
Okay.
That
Olivia.
is what is that?
Olivia.
Talk to us. Possibly a Greek salad.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's her purple.
Yeah, this is purple.
Yeah.
And Chef Boyardee, this put your dad to shame.
Yeah,
here.
she should hang out with my dad.
Yeah, her and your dad might be a match in heaven.
My dad likes orange soda and like chili.
Oh, Chef Boyardee mini raviolis. I don't think I'm gonna get breakfast for another couple days. I'm like disgusted. Could we just get a normal breakfast here? Here, Jessica Solberg.
Oh, Jess. Yeah.
Yellow indigo.
Yes.
And she just likes a smoothie.
Look at her.
Yeah. Thank you.
She puts some like good stuff in it.
Thank you, Jessica.
She's a nutritionist too.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Okay. Melissa from Chicago as well.
Yes.
Sometimes has issues with feet.
Oh, Melissa.
She could eat pancakes all day.
Oh, yeah.
And she's what, purple?
Yeah, but I remember she used to have like inauthentic red in her aura because I remember her because I just saw her like over the summer. And like that seems like a red thing.
Okay. Like eating pancakes. Yeah. Eating pancakes all day is a red thing.
That might be a red thing. And I feel like she might shed that with her spiritual progression.
As the day goes on?
Just in life.
Well, obviously not because she's eating it all day.
All day.
Yeah.
Pancakes all day.
All day pancake. We know Nancy Anderson's eating nothing. She's eating like the healthiest thing.
She actually eats really good.
Yeah, so we're not even going to go with her.
She eats food. What did she say?
It was like a whole list of antioxidants. Things I can't even pronounce. My body doesn't know what they are.
You do because you've been eating this week and I've been doing the 10-day detox. So you do know what they are.
Oh.
You've been eating
That's
all
why
of
I've been
it.
kind of going to the bathroom a lot. All right.
Oh, wow. TMI.
TMI.
It's disgusting.
All right. Allison Cohen, a good client of ours.
Yes.
Yellow aura.
Yes.
She likes a protein shake breakfast on the go.
That's super yellow.
That's
Nancy's
super
yellow too. Like that makes sense. It's just like, let's get it done. Let's eat. and get life moving.
Do you think like a lot of yellow people like eggs because they're yellow?
Maybe. Yeah. I think because they pack a protein punch. And like yellow is like efficiency.
Do you think
an
yellow?
Egg is a very inefficient food.
I wouldn't think a yellow could eat an egg white.
I don't think yellows are eating pancakes all day.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Another blue purple, a nice cinnamon raisin bagel toasted with butter, French toast with powdered sugar, and syrup and eggs. Kelly, I'm coming to your house.
I feel like the empath crew, we're like sugar. We do like the sugars.
Yeah. So as a red, what would you say well, let's see if you even know.
What's
my favorite breakfast?
Well, what you eat and what's your favorite breakfast are two different
things. But if I had to
pick
my day-to-day, can't live without it, what's my favorite breakfast?
Probably bagel.
And?
Like bacon.
Yeah, like just a bagel and...
egg.
Yeah, I would just straight bagel and coffee.
Oh, that's it?
It's fine for me.
Yeah. Every time we go out to eat breakfast, you get like bacon and eggs.
And that's red.
Yeah.
There's no...
No, but you like a bagel. That's like your thing, bagel.
Okay. Well, I think we have a lot of research here.
Yeah, that was really special.
Yeah.
Informative.
I think people really find
and
good quality with that.
Yeah, good content.
And I just want to say, when we go for our, that whatever that People's Choice Award thing is next year.
Oh, yeah, you should tell them what you're doing.
Yeah, we're going to go for that.
Scott's entering this podcast in the People's Choice Awards. You know, the one where all the iHeart ones always win?
Yeah.
And podcast one.
And the thing is, I'm not doing it because I want to be all exaltations and all these things.
I thought you hated award shows.
It's almost going to be like that artist where I'm going to be doing it to go against the award shows.
Yeah.
And when we get up on stage, I'm going to give a speech.
What? We're winning?
We're winning.
Oh, my God.
Of course we're winning.
Okay.
Manifestation. That's coming in January, that episode. We're winning this thing.
Yes.
And when we're there, we're just going to be we're going to do the anti speech.
Yeah, we're going to be like, hey.
Yeah, not you, me.
Oh, you?
You're going to just be like,
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I love you. And what are you going to say, Scott?
And then you're
going to get all oh my God, you're getting all fired up.
I can't tell you, but this is going to be my statement to get back at the Grammys, the Oscars, the People's Choice, the People's Choice, all of those things.
The Screen Actors Guild.
The Screen Actors, the writer, the janitors take on the films awards, all these award shows. There's hundreds of them. And I'm going to get them back.
You're going to get them all back.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, we won, you suck ass.
When we crush it at the People's Choice Awards. And I already have the calendar. We have to get our application in February.
Oh, yeah. I know you've been looking at this.
Yeah. I'm going to get, Leanna and Jessica, all of our crew on it.
Yeah.
All our
this is
mystics.
For the underdogs.
This is for the underdogs.
Yeah.
The independent podcast taking it on from our living room that we could beat these guys.
We're in our living room, people.
And we're going to crush them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manifestation.
Manifest it.
We got a Christmas gift for this episode from
Brandy Malone, and her beautiful family gifted us this episode. Gifted all of us this episode because she wanted other people to be informed, and she came to my recovering empath workshop with her son, and we just had such a lovely connection, and her family just wanted to gift this episode. So we're so thankful to Brandy and her family, and I'm thankful for all of you, and I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you, your support, your patience, your feedback, your love, hearing how aura insight and just insight in general and spiritual awakenings have been happening for you since listening to the podcast. I don't know how else to tell you how much it feeds me. I feel like my purpose on this planet is to facilitate environments for other people to find themselves. So this is what I'm trying to do with this podcast, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. And I thank you, and you take care until next time.
Bye-bye.